This is Aj Konopaski interviewing Lorna Konopaski on March 20th, 2011 about taking in the Tulsa during, what war was it?
Taking them in
Yeah, taking the Tulsa during
the Hungarian Revolution.
During the Hungarian Revolution.
Their country was in such disarray and people were being persecuted and it was not a good place to be, and Mr. Toth, John, wanted a better life for his family. And the Catholic Refugee Program was looking for families to take in these refugees. And we thought we had lots of blessings in our house, and we also had a big house, and we could do that. So we put our names in, and shortly after they sent us word that we would have a family coming from Hungary, a family of a man and woman, a 5-year-old boy, and she was expecting another one. And we went to Seattle and picked them up. We did not speak a word of Hungarian. They did not speak a word of English.
Oh, jeez.
It was a very bad, very quiet trip on the way home from Seattle. But Papa, I don't know if you need to translate that, Warren, had taken high school German, actually also college German, I think. And John, being from Hungary, which is right across the border from Germany, I think those languages all sort of run into each other. Excuse me. So he knew a little bit of German. And with a German-English handbook that we bought down at Olympic Stationaries, Warren and John figured out what they wanted to say, one word at a time, by transferring English to German.
Oh, wow.
They lived in our house for probably about 6 weeks until John was able to find a job. The city of Port Angeles gave him a job working on the street department. And then they rented a little house up by Franklin School. And I think they're very happy in America. Lived here until Mr. Thoth died probably 2 years ago. And Elizabeth still lives here. Very happy mother of 3.
How many kids did you have in the house when you first adopted them?
I had 5.
So you had, was it Lonnie, Rhonda?
Lonnie, Rhonda, Kevin, Pam, and Tina was 6 months old.
How old was Aunt Lonnie-ish, approximately?
How old?
Was Aunt Lonnie?
Well, let's see, that was 57, so Lonnie was born in 49.
8. And how old was Arpad? He was 5, right?
He was 5,
So did they all get along pretty well?
Oh, yes, they got along fine. Arpad learned English much faster than his mother and dad did, which is pretty usual for children.
Yeah. How was it having them in the house? Did they kind of just stay at home most of the time, or did they go out and...
Oh, they never went anywhere. They stayed right here because they couldn't speak English. And,
yeah.
She tried to help with cooking once in a while, but the things she cooked were pretty foreign to us.
Yeah.
One day she made chicken paprikash, and we thought she had not cooked the chicken long enough, and if there was anything horrible, it's eating raw chicken.
Yeah.
But she tried to help, and she helped with the baby. She loved the baby, and to this day, Tina's 50 years old, and Elizabeth still says Tina's her baby.
Oh, jeez. Is Elizabeth still living over at that house by Queen of Angels?
She does, yes.
That wasn't the first house they got, though?
They lived in a little rental house up across the street from Franklin School first. And I don't remember what year it was that they bought that house over by Queen of Angels. Not too much later than that.
Did Elizabeth ever get a job, or did she just kind of stay at home?
She worked at the hospital for a long time. And then I think she worked also at the nursing home.
Were they Catholic?
They were Catholic, and they were brought here by the Catholic Relief Services.
Did they ever tell you anything about how they escaped, or?
They did. John said he put Arpad in a burlap bag and put him over his shoulder like a sack of potatoes. They had to cross a border that was heavily guarded, and they had to teach him somehow that he couldn't make a sound, and they crossed that border with him in that gunny sack.
Did they not let children leave the country or something?
They wouldn't let anybody leave.
Huh, how'd they get out? Did they just
They
sneak?
just got across the border in the middle of the night.
Was the revolution because of, was it like communism or a dictatorship? Or...
You know, I'm not very good at politics, but
Yeah.
I know the whole thing was political, and I'm not sure if it was communism or what was backing it, but the country was in turmoil, I know that, and they wanted to get out of there and have a better life.
That was post-World War, right?
That was what?
Wasn't that after World War II, right?
Oh yeah, it was 1957.
Yeah. Do did John always work as for the city, or did he ever have another job?
No, I don't know how long he worked for the city, but he eventually got a job at Ryanair.
Oh.
And he was at Ryanair for enough years to retire. Retired from...
Before the mill closed.
He retired from Ryanair.
And then they had two children, Arpad and...
And they had two more children, Johnny and Mickey. Mickey's name was Miklos.
Oh, wow. That's a heck of a name.
Hungarian name.
Is that a boy or...
Boy,
Yeah. I know Arpad's still in town.
He is. Arpad lives here, and he's a plumber. And Johnny lives somewhere in the east, I think, Ohio. And Mickey lives here. Right now he's living with his mother because he's unemployed.
Okay. Did Mrs. Tolth have her baby while she was here at your house?
No. They had moved into that little house up by Franklin School. She had Johnny probably maybe a month before I had Jeffrey.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And then...
So they were basically the same age, Johnny and Jeffrey.
Which one of your children is Miklos closest to?
What's what?
Which age is Mickey closest to? Is it dad or...
Probably about Lori's age. They had Mickey probably maybe 3 years after Johnny.
I know that I remember when I was over here for Papa's birthday once and John and Elizabeth came over. Do you still remain in touch with Elizabeth at all?
Oh, yes. John was a great storyteller. We loved to have John come and tell stories. He was a great hunter and fisherman, and he could dress up a story like you wouldn't believe.
Oh, yeah.
Great storyteller.
I remember him always bringing elk meat and cougar meat and all that stuff. It was a blast.
He did. They never came to visit that they didn't bring a gift. That's old country courtesy, apparently. They would come, they would either bring a package of wild meat or flowers or sausage or whatever they had. They always came with a gift.
That's cool.
Uh-huh.
So do you think that helping them was a positive experience then?
I think it was. I think it was good for them to get out of that country at that time, and they've had a happy life here, and somebody needed to help them, and at that time we were able to, and so I think it was a good thing to do.
Is there anything specific that made you and Papa decide to go sign up and help the
Only that we had a lovely new home.
Was it this house?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We felt very, very blessed and felt sorry for people in the world who'd had nothing, and there was no reason why we couldn't share.
Okay.
We had an empty basement,
Oh,
and so
not for long.
we let them come and take over the basement. They had their own bedroom and bathroom downstairs.
Sweet. Any final comments about it?
Any what, honey?
Final comments about it?
No, I guess not. They were good people, and I think we probably did a good charitable work bringing them here. They had a happy life here. I think twice they went back to Hungary to visit their relatives, but they would not want to stay there. It's not a good place to be.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. Thank you very much.